Hello, everyone. Daniel here from the Next Issue Podcast. Today's video is a review of the re-release of Rocky 4, Rocky vs. Drago, the Ultimate Director's Cut. So last year we learned that Sylvester Stallone, while he was isolated, locked down, and for the pandemic, he was working on recutting Rocky 4. Now, for those that may or may not know, Rocky 4 is my personal favorite movie. And after watching this new iteration, I'm even more on board. Like, I really, really like this movie, and I like it even more now with the changes that have been made. I had no problem with the original, but this one really hit the spot, um, and it really solidified it at the top of my Rocky movies. Uh, so this was released in 2021. It's still about an hour and 34 minutes, which is not very much different from the original runtime. And I'll start with, I mean, this is all going to be full spoilers. I guess I'll just say that right now. This is the original movie. Came out a long time ago, so if you don't know by now what this movie's about, but I will go later on in the video. I'll go over some of the additions and what was removed from the movie to make it a different cut. So for those that have never seen Rocky 4 or any of the Rocky movies, here's a quick summary. Rocky Balboa proudly holds the World Heavyweight Boxing Championship, but a new challenger has stepped forward. Ivan Drago, a 6'4", 260-pound fighter who has the backing of the Soviet Union. Uh, just to put it in context a little bit, this was a movie that is supposed to take place during the Cold War between the U.S. and the Soviet Union. That's how old this movie is. The Soviet Union was still a thing. It has now been. It's now Russia and a lot of other smaller countries. This is written and directed by Sylvester Stallone, with all the changes also being made by Sylvester Stallone. Um, there's a really cool video. There's a series of videos on YouTube where Stallone talks about why he wanted to do this, and then the process of recutting the film. Now, if you don't know, let me go over the cast, because stellar cast that really made the Rocky franchise. So Sylvester Stallone reprises the role of the titular Rocky Balboa. Talia Shire plays Adrian Balboa. Dolph Lundgren, who plays my favorite Rocky antagonist, Ivan Drago. Carl Weathers comes back to reprise the role of Apollo Creed. Also, Carl Weathers is really, really funny in Arrested Development. You got yourself a stew, baby. Burt Young plays Polly, and Brigitte Nielsen plays Ludmilla, who is Ivan Drago's wife. Um, so, yeah, like I mentioned, I really, really liked this movie originally. I think Ivan Drago is the best, the most, the biggest obstacle Rocky has ever seen in any of the movies. Really, even including the new stuff like Balboa or all that stuff. And I like this movie so much that it made like Creed 2. That kind of is I would call that maybe a more direct sequel to this movie. Uh, like it's one of my other favorites. It is definitely very sad to see Apollo Creed die, because he's a character that we've seen throughout the whole franchise. I'm sure it was hard probably to write him off of the franchise. So let me go over some of the updates and the difference and how I feel that improved the movie. So let's go check. All right, so here's a few lists of what the changes are. So the movie starts off as the original movie with some sequences from Rocky 3. As most Rocky movies do, they all start with a quick recap of the previous movie in case you haven't seen it, in case you, for whatever reason, start with that one. This one has a bit of a few extended movies. It really goes over the victory of, Balboa over Clubber Lang, and then fighting Apollo Creed towards the end of the movie, or they're reigniting that little rivalry they have. Also, this movie has a way better explanation, or at least a setup of why Apollo wants to fight Drago when he comes challenging the champion. Apollo feels like he's been pushed to the side, and we we really feel a little bit more of that in the scenes that they change or they added. There's also a very interesting scene with Rocky and Adrian talking about Apollo's motivations and why she fundamentally disagrees with this fight, and even with Rocky maybe fighting Drago in the future. Like, she expresses her concerns and all that. And I don't know, I feel like we get a little bit more Adrian in this movie, and that's always a good thing. Um, we have removed the robot. The whole Polly with the robot thing is gone. Drago also speaks more during the interviews. He has a little bit more of a back and forth and stuff. Another change for this movie, in the funeral, like, there's a big speech that Rocky makes that I don't think it was part of the original. So this movie is a lot more dramatic than the other one. The first cut of this movie felt a little bit goofier at the beginning. There was a little bit more like, it was a big contrast from the latter part of the film. Then we also have a new scene that introduces or that explains why the fight didn't happen in the U.S. And why Rocky kind of is at the mercy of the Soviets when it comes to like where he can train and all that, because the boxing commissioner, they ban Rocky from fighting Drago. Like, they won't allow it. After Apollo died at the hands of Drago in an exhibition match, they will not support this fight at all. We also see a scene where Adrian and Rocky have a conversation before he goes to Russia. And then we also, when Rocky's fighting Drago, he has an inner monologue that you can hear voices from the past. You can hear Mickey's voice talking to him, so that changes a little bit. And then there's a little bit of change at the end of the speech. The whole fight feels a lot more dramatic and more visceral, more savage. So yeah, overall, really good changes that make the film better. All right, so thanks for watching. I hope you guys watch this movie and enjoy it. Let me know in the comments what are your favorite Rocky movies, what order. I recently rewatched 1, 2, and 3 in anticipation for this one. I'll probably keep going. They're all available on HBO Max at the moment. So, and follow along because we will definitely be covering Creed 3 whenever that comes out, which should be directed by Michael B. Jordan, I believe. So looking forward to that. So thanks for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live, drop some videos, all that good stuff. And leave us a like, leave us a comment. We love hearing from you. So thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.